everyone, welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. I am indeed Captain Logan. Joining me as always is my wonderful chat moderator and producer, DJ Martinez.
Evening. How's it going, everyone?
What's up, man? How are things?
Things are fantastic.
Yeah?
Ready to talk about stuff.
Let's
do
you
it.
ready to make the magic happen, DJ?
That's my... I was going to say middle name, but that's not how that works.
Your middle name is Make the Magic Happen? He's DJ Make the Magic Happen Martinez. That's even longer than Wait for It.
That's true.
So tonight we are doing something a little bit different. We're going to chat about the channel. We're going to be a little bit self-indulgent, and we're going to talk about Geekvolution and what we do here, but more importantly, what we're going to be doing here. The plan is to follow up on a video I posted earlier today. This is going to look all planned out and stuff. These things are never planned out. This was me 4 hours ago going, oh, you know what we could do on the live show tonight? And I just happened to post that this morning because I just needed a place to post it. It was an extra video, and I didn't want to waste a Friday on it, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna post that this morning. And I was like, oh, we should just talk, because I got a lot more responses in the comments, DJ, than I expected, and a lot of people had really interesting ideas and encouraging things to say, and it was kind of exciting reading the comments, and it got me kind of stoked to maybe talk to everybody about this live and get folks suggestions and ideas about not just what to do for the future on the channel, but ways in which we might improve what we're doing already. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. It will be Q&A like always, but it's going to be a lot more, hopefully, back and forth discussion where you guys throw a thing at me and we kind of bat it back and forth. There are just in terms of ideas again for improving things and ideas for other videos and shows and things down the road. Although heaven forbid we add another series anytime soon. I say that we actually are going to be doing that starting later this month, which I'll talk about later on the show. But we're going to be adding another monthly live show, DJ, and possibly 2 monthly live shows. Nothing as often as this show, of course, but, well, I said later. I'll go ahead and mention it now in case it doesn't come up. So, Dan's News, I think I mentioned this a couple shows ago, but I don't know that I really went in detail about it. Dan's News and I are going to be starting a replacement show for Chat. Batmania got in my head. Bat Chat. We're not going to be... Bat something. It's a bat thing. Well, and then also the name of the new show. So there's just all these things in my head. So we've decided to replace Bat Chat, which was ostensibly a weekly thing. It was for a long time, where we were going through all of the episodes of Batman the Animated Series. And since we're not doing, and I hate not finishing that, and as I've said with other things, maybe at some point we'll come back and we'll go ahead and do some more of those commentaries. But at the moment, I want to stay streamlined like we have been. I want to stay with 3 or 4 videos a week. And if I'm doing any regular shows where we're tackling episode to episode stuff, you just end up with way too many weekly shows, which is what I discovered doing that and Power Rangers and a lot of other stuff. And there's only so much time in folks' days, and there's only so much time in my day. And so anyway, but we still want to do a Batman show. And so Dan's and I are going to start a show called the Batmasphere. Which was coined by Dan's News when he and I did the playthrough for Arkham City when he was here at Geekvolution Studios a couple months ago. And it's going to be a kind of Batman variety show where we're going to do a review, sometimes of something recent, sometimes of something older, and we're going to have various topics of discussion on that show also. So it's going to be several different segments, like with the old comic book late night. And I'm also kicking around with the Treknado guys, because we haven't been doing Treknado, and again, not doing episode to episode anymore, a monthly live show about Star Trek with those guys that would be very similar to the format that you'll see for Batmasphere, which is going to start here in a couple weeks. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get that out there, since, because I was like, we'll talk about it later. No, we'll talk about it now. Anyway,
we don't procrastinate here at Geekvolution headquarters.
No, because it'll never come up, and then somebody will watch this afterwards and be like, Cap, you never talked about that Batman show. Maybe you should write stuff down. So anyway, welcome everybody. It's good to see you. I see Hawk Flame here, Rainbow Color Warrior, Kellen O'Rourke, Adam Howard, John Early is in the house, Tank Gunner, John Ty, greetings, salutations, Madman is here. It's so great to see everybody, and I hope you're excited to chat about... No, we're not changing the name, okay? It's Batmasphere. I love Batmasphere. It's not going to change.
Nope. The logo's made. We're done with it.
We could have stayed with Bat Chat and just changed the format of it, but I loved Batmasphere so much. And when you guys see the logo, you'll go wild. You'll really want. Have we posted that anywhere yet? Just the SSSS?
I posted it in the society, yeah, but not on the regular Facebook, obviously, because I can't do that.
We'll do that. Well, yeah, but although I could give you privileges to do that, we absolutely could have you be doing that. But anyway, we'll do, which just the more privileges you get, the more lazy I get to be. So, but we should get that out pretty soon so that everybody
hype it up.
Can see that great logo and get excited for that show. Donnie St. Pierre, $2 super chat. Eric Holden's Neighborhood. Yeah, people. I'm just never doing jokes like that again. We just made up a bunch of shows that people wanted. Sorry, guys, that's never gonna happen. Eric doesn't have time to do solo stuff. And guys, I'm gonna tell it like it is tonight. Okay, there's gonna be stuff that you're gonna really want that folks are gonna suggest that I'm just gonna have to, in as polite a way as humanly possible, shut down. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. We'd love to. I could beat around the bush. I could say maybe someday, maybe down the road. When I know for sure that's not gonna happen, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say sorry. It's not gonna happen. I don't see Eric ever being down for pretending to be Mr. Rogers and doing a cynical, grouchy talk show, not for kids, but pretending like it is. It would be hilarious, and I would also love it. But the man's got other things on his mind. So anyway, okay, so DJ, I want to start by responding to one of the comments that was left earlier today. I'm going to jump back and forth and do a little bit of that as well.
Sure.
Instead of, because there's a lot of questions people had and ideas people had that I just don't want to take all afternoon addressing in text. So I kind of want to talk about some of those things here. Not going to answer every question that was left there, and I obviously want to talk to the live folks, but I want to do a little bit of that. And as always, if you want to make absolutely certain that your question or your topic gets read and talked about, you can leave a super chat, and thanks to everybody who does or has ever done that. Let me see. Matale says the next decade Geekvolution will have 1 million subscribers and there will be a Geekvolution studio. Yeah, that'd be nuts. I am not ambitious enough to aim for 1 million. I've been at it 10 years and we're at 30,000. I really don't see that happening. And I know there's a lot of folks that are like, well, Cap, like if you do, and there's a couple things we'll talk about. Cap, if you do this and this, you won't be, holding yourself back so much. And I am not completely convinced that my style and some of the things I like to talk about and as in-depth I like to get, that I ever have a shot at being a big top-tier YouTube channel. I also don't know if I want that. But as I said in the video earlier today, my goal is 100,000. And I've never said that before. That's never been that had never been a big ambition before. But as I said, we continue to have positive growth. It's not huge, but we've never stagnated, which, DJ, to me is fascinating. In 10 years, we've never stagnated. We've always grown by at least 100 or 2 a month, and yeah. I like to challenge myself, and since that is happening, I'd like to see if we get it to 100,000, and I like to not take a whole decade, but if it does, I would be really satisfied with 100,000. DJ, let's do some pre-written stuff.
All right, so we've got a ton. I'm going to fly through these. Wow. Some of them are just suggestions, so you'll just give your opinion on it. Obviously, they're not really questions, but Blue Dragon 5 says, Cap, you should do a documentary on Adam West. Maybe reach out to Ralph Garman, and the rest will fall into place. Maybe take a trip to LA. If anyone should make that doc, it's you, Cap.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that. That is a fantastic idea. That is such a good topic, and obviously something I'm really passionate about, and that 60s Batman I know some things about. I've spent some time with. I've written about just a little bit. I didn't. So he mentioned that earlier. I didn't look that up. I'm not sure who that is. Is that the big Adam West collector guy, or is this someone else? He'll have to tell us because I didn't go look it up, and I'm not right off. I don't know who that is. But I would certainly consider that. Going out to LA and talking to somebody like that would probably be a thing that would require some funding. I mean, obviously, anything I did would require some funding, but that sounds more expensive than what I did with the road trip with Midwestern Panels a few years ago. and would probably require something like a Kickstarter or something, which, given that we're already doing Patreon and I already take donations and I've already got tiers and I promise people stuff, I would really love to not have to use something like that to fund something, but it might just be necessary. It may not be possible with the money that comes in from Patreon to do a project like that.
So looking him up, it seems like he's an American actor / comedian, and he wrote the Green Hornet crossover with Kevin Smith, the comics.
Ah, interesting.
So he must just be a huge fan.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I'll definitely look into him and try to figure out why specifically you're singling him out. As I'm assuming he's just a guy who knows a lot about Adam West. But anyway, Keller O'Rourke, how about doing a Tick retrospective? I'm actually planning on one. That is a thing I want to do. And I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, but I've already started doing a little bit of research for that. What I really want to do is a whole Tick documentary, and I can't remember if it was Blue Dragon 5 or somebody else that suggested this, but ever since this came up a few months ago, it's been hard not to think about it. And I would not make that as a movie, as a documentary, that, wouldn't just be a series of YouTube videos or something, unless I got to talk to Ben Edlund. And I just don't see that happening. I have tried to reach out to him. Obviously, I haven't gotten any responses. And so I don't know if that sounds like a pipe dream. That's probably never going to happen, and that would be the way I would do that. But a short video series, or just like hour long, kind of these days rewind length retrospective on the Tick is a thing that I am kicking around doing. So yeah.
Once we get that 100,000 subscribers, then we'll be able to get some contacts.
Yeah, is that the magic number? Is that what it takes? Blue Dragon 5, Garmin is the collector on the Blu-ray. Oh, that is who that is. That's who I thought you were talking about. Okay. I didn't realize that he also co-wrote that series, but yeah, I couldn't think of an aficionado that was a bigger Adam West person than him, and Blue Dragon 5 claims that he's easy to get a hold of and might be willing to work with me on a thing like that. So cool. that would just be fantastic. And I mean, like, he's on the documentary. He's on the Blu-rays, as he mentioned, for 60s Batman, and he takes Adam West through his collection, which is just surreal. And so, like, he's actually talked to Adam West and met the man, and so he would be the guy. It's just perfect. What a good idea. So yeah, I've written that down. That is a thing I'll look into doing. Sounds expensive. Seems like a thing that would be difficult to do and would probably take I'd probably have to take some time off. It would probably be a year out of my life, but worth it, I'm sure. Okay, DJ, what else do we have, sir?
All right, we have got, I don't know what that voice was. I guess we can talk about this.
All right, for the next 5 minutes, we're just going to use different voices.
This is kind of indicative of a lot of things I've seen in the chat. Blue Dragon 5 asks, love to see some Justice League / JLA Manias for the 2 animated series.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and quelch this one and squash it right now. For the foreseeable future, Manias are not going to happen. And I know a lot of people are suggesting those and have things they like to see. We announced a couple of years ago that we were going to do one on video game movies, and that didn't end up happening because we did Morphomania instead, and that never finished, and I've talked about that, and DJ and I are still kicking around finding a way to finish it at some point. Again, I don't want to work on it right now because this 3 to 4 videos a week streamlining thing has been going really well, and we're not oversaturating, and it's helping the growth of the channel, and more people seem to be able to watch everything, and frankly there just wasn't a whole lot of interest in that. But DJ and I want to do it just for us. Like, we just want to finish it.
Yeah.
We want to at least finish the Mighty Morphin era stuff. So, minus Turbo maybe. But anyway, so that's the thing we still want to do. But Manias as a thing are just not going to be able to keep going. Eric does, and I'm a broken record. The man just does not have time to do a video every day. He's got a very, very different schedule than he did back when we were doing that. And he's just, for lack of a better way to put it, the man's just got more of a life now. He can't spend all of his time hanging out with me anymore. He's got a serious girlfriend. They're having a difficult time spending as much time together as they want to because their schedules are not great together. And he does what he can. He's averaging a video every week or two for me, and considering I'm only making 3 or 4, that's plenty. And it's great. He's been doing commentaries with me, and he's been keeping up with Geekvolution After Dark, and we just recorded a couple of vaults last week. And so, yeah, for what we're doing right now, the man is absolutely pulling his weight, and he's invaluable, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate his continuing to stay involved. He was able to treat it like a second job before at his last job. He just can't do that now, and he's working on saving up enough to move out of my place and get his own place, and I'm sure I won't see him anything like as much after he moves out. And so
it'd be kind of weird if you did.
It really would, yeah. So, all that being said, this remains my thing with some help occasionally from magnanimous folks that I know, with the exception of DJ, who is a staple. He is a real honest-to-God part-time employee. I think it's okay to say that. And obviously co-host in his own right. I don't mean to be all belittling, but I do give DJ things to do, and I do pay him something for doing that. So anyway, so he's a semi-permanent staple right now, until he gets bored and decides to leave, and then Eric is doing what he can. Yeah, although I'm starting to think maybe I should have those. I need to figure out some kind of like sell your soul to the devil situation with DJ, because the thumbnails have just been too good.
Can't go back.
So anyway, that's the deal with Manias. We're going to continue doing commentaries every so often like we have been. But even if Eric had enough time to do those, it goes against the model of the channel right now. Just can't have 7 days of content or even 5 days of content anymore. And I need to be focusing on Rewind, which is what I'm working on right now. So you guys did get 2 in a row, which was really exciting that I was able to pull that off. And I'm working on a 3rd one that hopefully will be up on Monday. I am not promising weekly, but I am working on making that happen as often as humanly possible. So I don't want you guys to be like, oh man, you said weekly and now it's not coming out. Like sometimes some of those are just going to take longer than that. Will take a couple weeks at least. But I'm doing what I can, and that's what I'm just letting you know that's the goal. That's what I'm shooting for. So Mondays as often as possible. As much as I absolutely positively can. Mondays Rewind, Wednesdays this off-the-cuff, completely unplanned nonsense show, and then Fridays will be commentaries or Comic Vault and mostly requested stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, you want to go back to Super Chats?
Real quick, I don't think you mentioned it. Do you want to talk about the goal?
Yeah, I didn't even mention we had a goal tonight. Yeah, help us get there if you guys would. Tonight we got a $75 goal. I was just thinking about the future of the channel stuff. See, the thing is, you guys don't realize the reason I put notes on the screen, it's not for you guys, it's for me. It's just in case I forget. And I did. I've been looking at that for 23 minutes, and we have, let me see what it says here, a $75 goal, apparently, DJ.
Oh, look at that.
Something about live recording the next MCU Rewind. So apparently, whatever Joker wrote this, apparently I'm going to be, next time I do a superhero Rewind, I'm gonna go live and record it for anybody that wants to listen to me recording it live. I've never done that, DJ, in 10 years. I've never live recorded a Rewind. I thought that might be kind of fun. That will not be the video that gets posted. That will be you guys just being invited to the session where I do that. I may make some mistakes with it. You might get to hear me redo sections and stuff, or even add things. You guys will basically just be invited to my private recording session, and I won't interact with you guys a whole lot that night, of course. Maybe a little bit of before and after, maybe some Q&A at the end if there's anything you want to ask me about the Rewind, or want to say, hey, you made this mistake, you should go back and fix it, or you're just wrong, Cap, you're just wrong.
No, that's interesting. I'm always interested in behind-the-scenes stuff, and I think other people are too, so that's cool.
I thought it might be a fun thing to do. So yeah, if we hit $75 tonight, apparently that's what we're doing.
All right, so says the screen. All right, so this is kind of going
We live by
back.
the screen. It's the god of Geekvolution. The screen is the Geekvolution god. Whatever is on that purple brick wall, that's what counts.
So we have quite a bit of Super Chats, so I'm going to jump down to those. despite not telling them what the goal is. Robert Wild asks, could you and Eric bring back License to Review?
Like I said, this is a nonsense show. This show is ridiculous. It makes no sense. I got no plans. It's as unprofessional as it gets. Besides the Manias, they were maybe sometimes somewhat less professional, although often more planned than this.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, License to Review is all up to Eric. If he wants to bring it back, it is his prerogative. I'm not gonna push him. I'm not gonna tell him he's got to do it or can't be on the channel anymore. It's like, I know a lot of you guys really wanted me to bring that back, but like, I'm not the Bond guy. I can't do that by myself. And so and a lot of those Eric was doing by himself. I wasn't always watching that. So and we have talked about it here and there. He does want to do it. It's just a matter of time. What you guys have to realize is that during the week, he basically has time to go to work and come home and go to bed. Most days. He has one night that he goes and sees a movie with his girlfriend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, only days that he gets to do anything but go to work and sleep. And so he's got to prioritize, and he needs his own time to read stuff and watch things and do whatever it is he wants to do. He's also trying to get back to his writing real hard, and so trying to give him his space and make sure that he's got time to do all that stuff. So any questions you guys have about things that Eric might want to do, direct them at Eric. I'm not saying don't bring him up again tonight. It's just you're going to get the same response that you just got. It's Eric's prerogative. He's busy. The channel is not the priority for him that it once was, and that is perfectly understandable. This is nobody's full-time job but mine, and it's important that we remember that. All right, go ahead, sir.
All right, one more super chat. But I don't know how to read this one. It's kind of gross. Did you see this one?
I did see that. Yeah, guys. As I've always said, we will read your super chats as long as they are not rude, lewd, or otherwise. And that one is, and so we're not going to. So thanks so much for the super chat. We're not going to read it on air. Arcania Ryu No Way Live Superhero Rewind sounds like a bad idea. Those in-depth reviews can't exactly be done on the spot. I don't know if you're responding to somebody else talking about that or what, but as far as the goal goes, it's just me recording my script. It's not when I do that, if we hit that goal, and that's not going to be a thing I do all the time. I'm doing it for MCU because I figure whatever the next review is, people will care more about that than some other things. It will be either Thor: The Dark World or Civil War. So I don't know why. It would be kind of weird to do Civil War before Thor: The Dark World, but that one is a requested review that is in the queue that I have to do soon. And I also think it would be funny to just keep pushing off Thor: The Dark World as long as I can. I do think that's pretty amusing, so I may do that, honestly. But yeah, so no, Rewind will never be off the cuff. I repeat again, it will never be off the cuff. I know years ago, Vince and I did 2 of them off the cuff. We did, at that time, both Punisher movies. Well, I guess there's still only those 2 Punisher movies besides the 89 one and now a TV show. But I don't have plans to do that again. It will always be scripted. And in fact, someday I may go back to those Punisher movies too and do it my way, do it scripted. But I just, at the time, really wanted Vince on it. He was kind of the other half of the channel and wasn't doing a lot of scripted stuff then. So we wanted to try it that way. I think those turned out fine, but I wouldn't do it that way again. We were still kind of playing around with the format at that time.
Cool.
All right, Dragon 5, I wouldn't blame you putting Dark World off. Yeah, I wouldn't blame me either.
So I'm going to skip Devin's, but thank you, Devin. We do appreciate it. And Jeffrey E. Patron gives us a $5 super chat.
Jeffrey, how you doing, buddy?
He says, no idea or anything, just support and such. So thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
We appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Jeffrey has been such a major supporter of the channel, and I can't thank him enough. And has also been a really fun occasional co-host, and we need to have him back for something in the not-too-distant future. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read one of the questions that was put on the video this morning, DJ, because I really wanted to address this one. MaxonFire67. And guys, I really want your input on this. This will be a section where hopefully I'll be reading some of your responses to this because there's so many, I can see so many different opinions on this, and honestly, I don't know the right answer. I don't know that there is a right answer, but this is an interesting comment. I enjoy your conversational style very much, but I'm not going to lie and say that it also doesn't hold your view counts back, which is a thing I have been concerned about for years. You guys need to get a better quality camera. I don't know about that. I think our video quality is okay. Shorten your videos, and also our video quality has gotten better recently because of some stuff that Dan's News did for me when he was here. It's the best it's ever been, and we got a lot of comments about it when we fixed it. Yeah, it could be better. I could go 4K and stuff. I don't really think that would affect the view counts that much. That's going to be the place that I will really kind of dispute this comment. But this other stuff I'm concerned about. Shorten your videos and edit your videos so it's not just one angle for the entire video. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. We really straddle the fence with the off-the-cuff stuff between being a YouTube channel with videos and a YouTube channel that basically just puts out podcasts where you can watch our faces if you really want to. And I have been on the fence about whether or not we should continue being that way for a long time. If everything we did was shorter videos, a lot of the big top tier channels that you see are 10-15 minutes max for most of their videos. Different for things like Collider and stuff like that, but those are almost like radio shows with a video component, and a lot of those are are more corporate and not just folks making stuff in their basement like I am. So more air quote professionals. I've considered going to a 2-camera setup. And I have considered starting to do more time limits, but man, the core base we already have does not like it when I do that. Like a lot of our built-in audience that's been with us for a long time really likes the long form stuff, whether it's written or off the cuff, and wants us to really exhaust a topic when we get on something. And I've been told by a lot of folks that seems to be kind of what sets us apart.
Sorry?
You all right?
Yeah. Got water right here.
And a lot of folks tell us that that's one of the things that kind of sets us apart, and that if I stop going in depth, I mean, obviously I don't want to force length. I don't want to intentionally go on forever just because that's what I'm known for, and that's not what I do. But I'm not good at brevity. What I'm good at is detail. What I'm good at is in depth. What I'm good at is, especially with the off the cuff stuff, is noodling a thing until I get to where I really land on a thing and exploring ideas, as opposed to just writing out a lot of notes and giving you my polished thoughts in the first place. We have tended to be raw, with the exception of Rewind, going all the way back, and I worry about losing that. I worry about losing a lot of the core base if we stopped being like that, and I also don't want to just do what everybody else is doing for the sake of views. On the other hand, if it was more entertaining and people enjoyed it more, I could see doing more of that. But I gotta walk that line of doing what I want to do and what I enjoy doing, and what is good for the growth and all of that. Really tough balancing act with the business side and the creative side. And DJ, how do you respond to that?
I mean, personally, my experience with the channel was always listening to you while I worked and while I was in school and while I was doing homework and stuff. So I always appreciated the long form stuff, and I always appreciated that you put out so much content, because I was just listening to it in the background, and I never really got overwhelmed by it. But I do understand that doesn't appeal to the masses. Yeah. But if you do have to, and the main problem I see with I do see a lot of video essay channels with several 100,000 subscribers, but they have they lay over the edit with video footage, and I don't know how they get away with that. It's because you get hit every time you try to do that. So
yeah, I have found a format visually finally with Rewind that, fingers crossed, seems to be working. I've put out 3 that way, and they haven't gotten copyright flagged yet, and I haven't gotten anything pulled. Not to say that can't happen down the road, but so far that seems to be working. But I can't do constant video footage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't understand that, but like I said, I'm not the target audience. I like to just put it on while I do other things and listen while I'm cleaning or driving or something. So I know a lot of people do like to watch stuff. So hopefully they can give us some of their input in the comments or in the live stream.
Have you? Yeah, and I'll start responding to some of those in a second. DJ, have you ever watched Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares?
No.
So
is that a cooking show?
Yeah. So Gordon Ramsay is like the preeminent chef celebrity these days, and he had a show for a lot of years, and he's brought it back under a different name now called Kitchen Nightmares, and he goes into restaurants and works with them for a couple days. These days he does it in just 24 hours, which is nuts. And they're restaurants that are like on the verge of bankruptcy and are about to close and are in big trouble. And he goes in and he tells them, like, matter-of-factly, here's what's wrong, no BS, this is what you need to do, get over yourselves and fix your restaurant. And I thought about that show a lot in thinking about this aspect of the channel, this idea of catering to the folks that we have already and forgetting about the masses. What I don't want to do is what a lot of the restaurateurs in that show do, where they get like they get really comfortable with what they have, but they don't really have very much in the first place, and it's like customers aren't coming, but they say, well, I can't change the recipe because the people that are here already like it the way it is already. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to pretend like there's more interest in the ways we're doing stuff than there is, but the difference is we don't have no customers. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not the same thing as those restaurants that are about to close. Like, we have, it's not a big channel. We've carved out our little slice of heaven, and we and you know, we're doing the best we can with what we've been for 10 years. And obviously I've changed a lot of things over the years. We mold stuff, we mess around, we try different things, we experiment. And so I don't think I'm doing that, but I get really self-conscious about it. You know, I worry about it sometimes. I thought about that quote from that show, because it comes up almost every episode of that show. I used to watch that quite a bit. And just this idea of where you'll have a store owner that'll say, like, but the customers will revolt, they won't come back. Yeah, but you don't have any customers. And I don't want to be that guy. But again, we have a pretty healthy community, and a lot of the folks, and they're not always names I recognize, that I hear from all the time are people that have been with us for 10 years. So yeah, I don't want to sell out. I don't want to just do what would bring in anybody. Like, I don't think we appeal to everybody, and I don't want to become something I'm not in order to try to appeal to everybody, which is why I'm not after 1 million subscribers. I don't think there are 1 million people who would listen to me. Which is fine, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I also don't want to be in denial about what's working and what isn't, and so that's where I get kind of self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's selling out, as long as you're still doing what you love and you just tweaking it in a way that is, you know, more appealing. I don't know, because you brought up something recently about doing mini rewinds. Any further thought about that?
Yeah,
like little edited versions.
Yeah, it wouldn't be new material. It would be going back to old rewinds and making like a 4 to 5 minute version out of what's there already, to basically just give Cliff's Notes for people that are curious to know what my overall opinion is in the score, but don't have the time to listen to me ramble for 40 minutes and don't care as much about the details. And there's a lot of people who liked early rewind when it was 10 or 15 minutes long that just didn't have the time or didn't care for it as much when it morphed into what it is now. I mean, they're different shows. It's not exactly the same thing, and that's why I've gone back and redone and I've redone some of them, because, you know, when I did Ninja Turtles in the first place, it was like 6 or 7 minutes. I had a lot more to say about that, and it wasn't a story analysis. So yeah, I have considered doing that. A lot of folks, I put out feelers on the SSSS, and a lot of folks there didn't seem to think it was a good idea, but I'm not sure everybody totally got what I was considering doing with that. It would be just a way to kind of get a bite-sized version of it, because that show is doing two different things. It's doing story analysis, which is kind of a scholarly exercise with some humor thrown in, and it's also a review with a score. And somebody once left a comment not too long ago, maybe a year ago, and said, maybe you should just leave the score off if it's not going to be just a straight up review. Like, it's critical, but it's also mostly just story analysis. And so what is the point of sitting around for an hour to get a score? And that's what made me think, well, maybe it might be cool to put out another version of it that uses some of the same material for folks that just don't want to listen to me that long. I am still considering doing that, and would be curious to know if folks, now that I've had time to explain it,
There's a lot of positive feedback in the chat about it.
But also, I'm not sure that the core audience is who I should be talking to about that. I mean, obviously, I appreciate everybody's input, but that would be a thing that I would do primarily to bring in other folks that would be maybe more interested in the bite-sized version. Most of the folks that are watching this hour-long live talk show are probably fine with a 40-minute rewind. Mm-hmm. So, like, you also have to think about the demographics and stuff. But anyway, let's respond to some of these comments now that we've had that long discussion about it.
Rabbiteer's blog says, Mini Rewind sounds like an interesting idea. Someone says, Mini Rewinds is a really good idea, actually. I lost that one, but a lot of people are liking the idea.
Okay.
And I think, I never responded on the society post, but I think it's a good idea, too. And one thing you could do is, sometimes you'll have these excellent tangents that you go off in your reviews that are on specific themes, but they're kind of like chapters, and you could cut one of those out and just name it as its own video. And I think that would be cool.
I have considered that. I've considered doing it with some of the like rants that show up in rewinds too. I think it would be fun to take out the overpass tornado rant from Man of Steel and post that as its own video. I thought it might be fun to take out the pizza rant from Howard the Duck and make that its own video.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that people like to click on. Someone says, I'll find it real quick. Corey Power, this kind of goes along with that. He says, got to get those clickbait thumbnails. So can we talk about this for a second? Because
let's do that.
If you guys have any problems with the thumbnails lately, that is my fault. Don't blame Kat for that. I've been trying to get him to let me experiment a little bit with that and see if we can bring in some new people. So let us know what you think about that too, if you like those.
I want to say that am I wrong about this? And we're just quibbling over semantics at this point. Yeah. I want to say there's a difference between clickbait and trying to be really eye-catching. I think it's only clickbait if the thing you clicked on is not actually the thing that it looked like it was.
Yeah,
am I wrong about that? That's what when I think of clickbait, I think, okay, in the corner it said this, but it wasn't really that, or you didn't spend enough time on that kind of thing.
Yeah. We were trying not to do that either. And like the 10 things you didn't see in Avengers Endgame. Like someone left a comment a while back said, just don't ever do one of those videos.
I don't have any intention to. Or those videos where it's like stuff it's actually that video. Stuff you didn't notice, and then there's an arrow and the arrow isn't to anything, or something circled, and then you look at it and you're like, there's nothing in there. Like, what does that have to do? And then you watch the video and it has nothing to do with the thumbnail, and they act like there's like a graphic where they're gonna point out a thing that you never noticed, but it never shows up.
Or they'll like blur something out that's supposed to be like whoa, but it's not. We're getting some positive feedback in the. Greg Davidson said the thumbnails are great. # Team New Thumbnails. Blue Dragon 5 likes the Captain America one I did for tonight.
Oh, it's awesome. It's so great. Something I've learned about DJ is that he does not like compliments. This is something I've discovered. I give DJ big props every time he makes a thumbnail like that. And he never responds. Like I'm like, dude, you're the best. And he's just like, his response tonight. I said that I was like, dude, you're the best. His response was, I'll upload it.
Sorry, I never know how to respond to that. I'm just like,
DJ's awesome. Rockman LP, I would say video quality is fine, and most recent videos are reasonable in length. Thanks, but I mean, I question that on certain things. I do feel like there are some videos that are like 40 minutes that I probably could have done in 20. I don't know. Rabbit Ears blog is also okay with the video quality. I'm happier with it now. Blue Dragon 5, I'd keep things as they are. I appreciate the in-depth content. Might be just me. I mean, if it's not just you, but I don't know. Just, how large of a group it is. Donnie St. Pierre, I like the way it is very much. Thank you. But I mean, I'm cool with criticism, you guys. You don't have to just polish our hats. That is not what we're here for. Blue Dragon 5 Cap, I wouldn't mess with the formula, but include separate add-on / addendums to older rewinds. That's not a bad idea. To do some like some rewinds instead of just totally redoing the rewind, come back. But the thing is, a lot of those, it would be like, I would start it as an addendum, and then I would be like, I don't even agree with myself anymore. Like, I would end up having to start over. Gregory Davidson, Cap, feel free to branch out and be creative with your content. Whatever you want to do, I feel everyone will support it. Thanks for that. Reptile Dude 21. Oh man, we need rants at the end of each Captain Logan show. I will consider starting to bring that back. That is a fun idea. DJ, feel free to find things to complain about.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. These comments are amazing tonight. I might have to come back and like look at this again later because they're really funny. Anime 2019 says DJ's thumbnails look good. He shouldn't be so hard on himself. He's a talented graphic designer and an amazing welder.
I don't think DJ is hard on himself. I think he just doesn't know what to say when you give him a compliment. This
is the best comment ever. Someone says, "I want a Blue Dragon 5. I would like a supercut of Eric's background Bigfoot cameos."
That's a funny idea. I would also consider that. Yeah, that could happen. Yeah, what do you guys think about? Because I missed who it was, but somebody left a comment and said like, how can you really snazz up a person talking too much? Like when I read that comment, and somebody said that we should have like a 2-camera setup or something. I haven't heard a lot of comments about that. Like, what do you guys think about that? Should I try to edit more? Should there be like, is it okay that our conversational videos are more like this, where it's just us talking and it's kind of a static image? Or do you really think it would make... I don't know if it would make that much of a difference. And DJ, I see channels that do exactly what I'm doing that have a lot of that have a lot more subscribers than we do.
You know, I wonder, is it just the desk? Do you just need a desk to sit at?
I have a desk.
I mean, like, no, like when you're doing your videos with Eric or like a panel with the Star Trek guys, do you just need like an official looking desk? Because
we just need to build a set. Is that all? Is that all?
That's what everyone else has.
We have to do the nerd crew thing. It's just really important that sometimes they do. Some of those channels will have a multicam setup.
That's true. But a lot of them, they have the big shot where you're just all sitting there. That's true. They do cut sometimes. So maybe it's just people don't like the couch setup. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here.
And also understand that this is not all about, we'll do whatever we have to do to get a lot of views and a lot. It's not that. It's just somebody asked me last week, Kareem, what my goals were for the channel, and I was like, I should have a subscriber goal because I've been at this 10 years, and why not? Let's see where we can get it to. But like I said, I've got to have that balance. I don't want to turn into something I'm not just to grow the audience, and I want to find folks. This is going to sound elitist, and I don't mean it to sound like this, but I want to find thoughtful folks. I want to find folks that appreciate the in-depth analysis, that appreciate the discussion, that appreciate different points of view. I want to find more folks like most of the audience we have already. So I'm inclusive, but there are folks that are not going to appreciate the channel that just shouldn't be here, is my thinking, if that makes any sense at all.
Mm-hmm. I think it does. I think they understand. I do want to bring up this thing that Gregory Davidson says. Yeah. He says... and this is because it's been on my mind lately too. Separating the different shows of Geekvolution into their own playlists on the main channel page could attract newcomers. So this is, I know you do this, but I don't know if he's saying make that more prominent. And I don't know if you can change it more prominent. I don't know if you can change the layout on your channel.
10 years ago, we had options. YouTube has become what they tell you can YouTube.
But on this subject, I did go back and update the Captain Logan Show playlist. I know that's not really a show that you usually go back to because it's usually about current news, but if anyone's interested, you can go back and check out. This is episode 70, by the way.
Wow, that's crazy. Logan I guess that's what happens when you do them every week. And we've been pretty consistently weekly, and occasionally we'll do 2.
Yeah. We just took that hiatus for a little bit earlier this year, but yeah, it's been
Rainbow Color Warrior. I'm drinking sparkling water. This is peach nectar. I usually drink the sparkling ice, and we ran into these recently. This is from Members Mark. I don't know if this is like a Walmart brand or what this is. I think my wife got this at Sam's Club, but we wanted to try these because they were a little bit cheaper, and I was like, this won't be as good. These are every bit as good as ice, maybe a little bit better, a little more flavorful. If they had a pineapple one, I'd be drinking that all the time.
I love pineapple.
It's
so we've got a lot of super chats. We should probably hop back to those if you're okay with that.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, DJ. Go right ahead, man.
All right. Another one from Devin. Devin Rocketansky. He says, can you talk about My bad. That was that one that we didn't read. Creepy.
No, we can't, and we already told you why. Connor Nielsen has criticisms. I want to get to Connor's criticisms at some point.
Sorry, I thought I checked that one off and I read it again. That was my fault.
No, that's okay. It's just mostly I don't want people to think that all I'm doing is reading the positive comments. I have not seen a lot of critical ones, and I'm looking for critical ones. Gregory Davison, be like Jerry Johns and cut every 2 seconds and have a big blue background instead. You'll have millions of subscribers in seconds. No, I won't. And nothing against Jeremy Johns. What he does is great. Connor Nielsen, lighting in those videos could be improved. They're lit, but there's 2 lighting temperatures that clash hard. I really liked your early GNN revisited videos. That lighting was very cool. Very cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by 2 different lighting temperatures. Right now, I'm using all the same kind of lights. It's all the same colors, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's talking about there, but I mean, I think you're right. I think we could add. I don't know. I'm not the best at lighting. I've got sort of a key light, but not really. It's basically like two lights right behind the camera, right and left, and then some other lights way back there. I mean, I need a 3rd light right behind me, and I just don't have that right now. And I don't know what is happening with the light when I do this. But anyway. And then I think he was following up from another comment that I didn't see. I'm running up to... if we're brainstorming, I'd suggest a new camera setup for the wide off-the-cuff reviews. You and your guests are in the bottom third, and the framing is odd. Yeah, that's true. No, that's fair. I'm going to be like Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 2 when Fury calls him narcissistic. Agreed?
Agreed? That's great. Connor.
That is true.
Connor's a film guy, so that's
yeah,
really cool.
and I suck at that stuff. Go look at my documentary and try really hard not to think about the framing of the camera, because as soon as you do, it will break the whole movie. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's the main reason that I want to do another documentary, because I think I'm better at that now. I'm better at it. I'm not good at it. Like, having said that, Connor's not wrong. I do need to fix that. Yeah, you get kind of used to doing things one way, and anyway. Solar Dragon 007, the problem is that the quality of the viewer base tends to diminish the more subscribers there are. I worry about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I do.
You'll definitely get a lot more annoying commenters.
Yeah. And, you know, my policy has always been to ignore the trolls, and you guys will notice I don't respond a lot in comment sections. There are certain, I will come right out and say this. These days, there are videos that I just don't even read the comment section at all, partly because of time and partly because I know it will be more volatile on certain videos than others. That's nothing against the main base we have. It's that certain videos will get more views and will attract an audience that is not our normal audience, and I just don't want to be affected by some of those comments, specifically with certain new movies where I just know that it's polarizing. I just know it's so. I'd rather talk directly to you guys about stuff in the Facebook group and on Patreon and here. I don't mean to say that you have to pay me to talk to me, but like here and on Facebook, not just the SSSS. So, like, we are still about having discussion and discourse and stuff. I just don't personally do as much of it in the comment section as I used to, because that can get more volatile. And, yeah, I mean, it's always been a no-brainer. I don't understand why people do this. It's always been a no-brainer to me just not to, you know, give people that are trying to piss you off what they want. I don't understand the point of that. And I got better things to do, man. I can't spend all my time policing comments.
Yeah. Here's a suggestion from Busted Sim. You could invest in a switchboard or something that would allow off-the-cuff camera switching, which is really cool.
Yeah, good idea.
I would love to do something like that with this show, or the producer could actually do stuff. And
where it makes more sense to call you that.
Yeah, and something that I really wish we could do is take calls on this show.
I've always wanted to do that.
That would be so fun.
You know, the first time we get a really awkward one, we're going to be like, I don't know if we should have done that. It's also
well, we can always click them off. So
yeah, here's the thing: it is easier to not look like a jerk face when you're taking text comments over radio calls, or excuse me, over phone calls, because you'll listen to radio shows and you'll think a DJ is like a really great, nice person, and then you talk to somebody on the phone and he's just like, yeah, I don't have time for you. You're stupid. And it's really hard not to come off that way, I think.
Well, yeah, you got to keep the show going, and some people just want to like take time, and you got. I understand. I think you'll be on your side with it.
I hope so, because I think it's really easy to do what you have to do, and as politely as you can, but look kind of jerk-facey, where it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, we gotta move on to the next call, and then and then you mute them, and then it's like, oh, you interrupted me, Captain Logan. Well, it's my show, man. Like, I just don't have 15 hours to talk to you about the fact that I haven't watched The Boys yet. I just don't have time, okay? I'm sorry. I might watch that show, but I can't talk to you about the fact that I haven't done it. Whatever it is. I only mention that because people keep asking me if I'm going to watch that. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I don't want to. I really don't. I don't want to. But I'm hearing so many good things that I might finally cave and do it.
Yeah. All right, we have 8 super chats, and we have like 5 minutes, so yeah, I'm gonna roll through these.
Get through those, yeah.
So Creepy Spacey says, Cap, how cool is Venom? Also, Todd McFarlane wants to make a Spawn game. So unrelated, but
Venom's cool. I love Venom. And everybody knows that, and we gotta move on to other stuff because this isn't about the topic for tonight. But it would be cool to see another good Spawn game. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we had a Spawn game at all, but especially a decent one. There are 2 good Spawn games. The Super Nintendo game is good, and the Dreamcast game is good. Those are the 2 good Spawn games.
All right, so this next one from Azim is a little on the topic. This channel is criminally undersubscribed. Glad you're consolidating your content. Keep the classics going along with, and maybe occasional K-Freak? I don't know what that means.
Kind of Cryptic Freaks.
Oh,
Kind of Cryptic Freaks. Yeah.
I didn't know that was shorthand for it. Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes sense for on this, yeah. So like I said in that video early, and thanks for the kind words, I appreciate it. Like I said in the video I posted this morning, I certainly want to finish Counting Cryptic Freaks. I'm going to do it as season overviews. I'm going to do it scripted. It's going to be polished. It's just going to take time to get to them and to get back to them, and I need to get Rewind coming at a clip before I get back to that. I may have to take a hiatus from Rewind occasionally in order to make that show. It would be hard to do both. There's no way to do a whole season of that in 1 week. I have to watch 22 episodes and then, write half an hour, 45 minutes, however long it is. I say that. That's a really conservative estimate, I think. But all right. What else, man?
All right. So we got one from T-Edge1. I love the idea of Eric Holden's Neighborhood, but it would be cool to do Rewind on movies that you like and think deserve a rewind, such as John Wick. So I guess he's saying just non-superhero or science fiction rewinds.
So I'm taking requests for things that aren't superhero and mostly sci-fi, but when people have something they think I might want to do, I will sometimes make an exception. I haven't done one in a long time, so I don't even know what I'm going to call it. For the longest time, we did Rewind United. I may stay with that, or I may call it something different. I'm not sure yet. John Wick is actually on the list. There is a request from Malik.
Oh, cool.
For that from Malik, so that is going to have to happen in the not too distant future. That's on my short list, but that's on my very short list, so that'll be in a few videos, and I'm kind of excited to write about that. But as far as right now, I'm just kind of taking requests for those, and I've got such a backlog right now that I'm not picking my own movies a whole lot. I'm going to do it occasionally for superhero, just to have a sense of variety, so I went ahead and knocked out Super Buddies because I brought it up 6 years ago and thought I should probably go ahead and do that, and occasionally I'm going to pick something that I don't think will take that long to do, just so that I can have a little bit of a breather. So, right after one that takes, I did 47 minutes on Ant-Man. Right after that, I wanted to do something silly. And then I did 33 minutes on Super Buddies because it was far more complicated in plot-wise than I expected it to be. And there was a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense. It was like, I have to mention this. There's no way around it. Why on earth would you put a toy surprise in Puppy Chow? I don't understand.
I haven't watched that yet. Have you seen any of the other Air Bud movies?
I haven't, and I talked about that. I said, look, there's 14 of them. I figured you guys would rather I make more rewinds than spend 2 weeks watching Air Bud movies.
No, I demand you get caught up. I want Air Bud, Golden Receiver. I want World Pup.
A bunch of people said that. A bunch of people were like, no, you have to tackle now all of the movies in the Air Bud cinematic universe.
Seventh inning.
And it is in a cinematic universe.
I've seen all the Air Bud movies. I haven't seen any of the Air Buddy movies. But anyway, Hawk Flame asks, how about a rewind? or retrospective of Batman Brave and the Bold?
Yeah, I want to do that. That has been on my mind for a long time. Absolutely.
Cool.
Hopefully, will at some point happen. Yeah.
Thanks,
a lot of TV shows I just can't make promises about because I got to prioritize the movies. I'm thinking about coming up with a skew where it's like, with a scheme, I should say, where like I'll do so many TV shows a year, where it becomes specials on Rewind, so you can expect a movie every every so often, and you can expect a TV show maybe 2-3 times a year, whatever it is. To do those, I have to take time off from regular Rewind, so it's going to take at least 2 or 3 weeks to do a retrospective like that. And for Brave and the Bold, I don't know if I would do it season by season. I might just do the entire show, and if I did that, it would take probably a month. Especially the way things are in my life right now. It's hard to watch stuff during the day when you've got, a 1-year-old. But when he gets older, it'll be easier. But that's assuming that we don't have any more kids. So, yeah. So go ahead.
Always a possibility. We got one from Mr. Roboto. I don't understand this one, but I'm just going to read it straight.
Okay.
Cap.
Yeah.
Time to release T-Lion versus the DJ.
T-Lion.
T-Lion. I don't know if it's a typo.
Lion spelled L-I-O-N?
Yeah, T-Lion versus the DJ. Maybe let us know, Mr. Roboto,
versus the DJ. All right.
But we appreciate your $2.
I don't know what it means, but I'll consider it. Yeah, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it.
David Crabtree, $5 super chat. Any chance of going back to the rewinds you didn't use footage stills and just had a big fan art thumbnail and re-editing those with the new format?
Yeah, I really, really want to do that, and thanks for bringing that up. I meant to mention that on that video this morning. I don't know how often I can get that done because I really want to, again, put rewinds out as often as possible. The editing is the thing that takes the longest. I have figured out how to shorten it a little bit, but it's still several hours. For a 45-minute video, it's still at least a 10-15 minute, I wish, 10 or 15 hour endeavor, sometimes longer. It just depends on what I'm doing. So I'm talking to I'm talking to one person about helping me out with that, and we've got one in the middle of being made, but it's been a while, and they just take a long time to do. So, like, I may not edit all those myself. I may have somebody else do it, but they're still not going to come out all the time. So, yeah, I mean, how many of those are there now? 20, 25? Like, probably more after the... I just don't have the list in front of me. Probably more after the 12 Days of Rewind. I'm getting a lot of requests for at least the Fan 4-stick review to be done that way, and that would probably be a big priority. So anyway, yeah.
All right. I just wanted to give an update. We are at 50. Someone was asking if we had reached the goal yet. We're at $50 right now.
Okay, so, cool. We're only going to be on air for a few more minutes, so if you guys really want to see the live MCU Rewind recording, help us get there in the next few minutes. DJ, what do you think? You got 5 or 10 minutes? We just got...
yeah, I'm going to just run through. We only have a few more Super Chats left.
Okay.
So
we've got so many questions tonight. This was a topic that I didn't even know if we would get a whole lot of response to. And I'm also long-winded. Yeah.
Actually, let's go ahead. We had talking about something after this. Let's just go ahead and keep this going, and we can talk about that maybe another time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we have T-Edge 1, a series where you explain how powers work and don't work, such as invisibility, and Eric took off videos on his channel. Any chance of porting them over to here? So 2 different questions.
Okay, so let me go backwards. Eric, and I don't want to speak for him, I'll just tell you what he told me. Eric made videos a long time ago that he just doesn't really want people to watch anymore. That, like, they're old, they're his teenage self. He decided instead of going one by one and deciding which ones he wants to keep and which ones he doesn't, and also remember that Eric doesn't listen to himself, so he's not going to go back and listen to them. He decided to just go ahead and make them all private. So people have asked me if he deleted them. He didn't delete them. They're just not available for viewing. So they're not going to be ported over here because he just doesn't want them public anymore, and that's his prerogative. The other one was about, remind me.
He says maybe a series where you explain how powers work and don't work.
Yeah, that's an amusing idea. He might have thought of that because of the thing I said in Super Buddies, where so there's the scene, DJ, since you watched the review in Super Buddies, where one of the dogs has the power of invisibility and can extend it out to other things, right? But and we see it work as just invisibility earlier. There's a scene where water hits him and he loses concentration and then he becomes visible again. But there's a scene toward the end where the bad guy tries to drop a tractor on them, and they disappear, and the tractor doesn't hit them. That's not how invisibility works. They didn't have time to move out of the way, and even if they did, I don't know how it helps them that much to move, but be invisible at that point. So yeah, they just unceremoniously decided in the middle of that scene, yeah, invisibility is also phasing cloaking. So I guess it could be amusing to do a series like that, or to do a video like that. I would probably want to go to things that do it wrong and be like, yeah, that's not how that power works, or that's inconsistent with the way you set up the rules before. And that sounds like a lot of research, a lot of work to figure that video out. But this sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah, that could be cool. We have another one from Robert Wild. Cap, do you watch the YouTube channel Comic Pop? They just did a video on the history of Spawn. It's like Spawn Year in an hour. It's really funny. Don't tell the man that.
Well, if you spend any time with Spawn, it's probably going to sound like Spawn Year. You'll probably start to get like really fed up with it, and you'll probably get really sarcastic. Okay, so yeah, who was it that asked that weird land question earlier?
Mr. Roboto.
Was it Mr. Roboto? Okay, he mentioned. I thought maybe he was talking about Tim Lyons.
Oh, T. Lion.
Yeah.
So he's close.
Well, no, it isn't that I forgot about him. It's that I didn't think that's who you were talking about. Because didn't you say like that versus DJ? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I still don't know what that means.
Yeah, I just don't know what it means.
He's definitely a better host than me and a better announcer. I'll tell you that. He was the best, man.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that if he was still with us.
Yeah, he might just not be aware.
Oh, maybe he's not. I don't know, but no. Tim Lyons passed away 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago to the October will be the anniversary of his passing. Which I don't mind telling you guys. I have taken very little in my life as hard as I took that. That was just the hardest thing ever, losing Tim. But yeah, miss him a lot, and wish he was still here to hang out with us. But yeah, that was the worst. I was at the hospital the entire week. Hardly left. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, but yeah, interested to know if Mr. Roboto just didn't get the memo on that.
He might not have. Probably not.
Mr. Roboto, we're talking about whether or not you knew that Tim passed. I just thought that was kind of a weird thing to say. If
I think he also is a little bit behind in the stream, so he might just be catching up to what we're talking about.
Okay, cool.
But he did ask us another super chat.
Yeah,
sure,
the last
one. Out of left field. Is it time for a Spawn Baseball, the video game?
It is, but it's been time for that for a long time. I would buy that in a heartbeat. I would buy that tomorrow. Yeah.
Is that a thing? Does he play baseball, or is that just totally random?
No, McFarlane was almost a professional baseball player.
Oh.
Spawn needs a baseball game or a hockey game or both, like a sports game with both. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. Roboto, I'm sorry that you missed that news. That he died of a liver condition. Okay, do we have any more super chats?
That was the last one.
Okay, cool. How close are we?
That was just catching up. We're still at 50.
We're still at 50. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna hit it, so we'll go ahead and just leave you with that. I never know what to set the goal at. For a while, we were doing 50s and we were hitting them really, really fast, so I started upping it some. But so we haven't made the last couple. I might drop it a little bit next time we do one. But thank you very much to everybody that did a super chat tonight, and we'll see you again next week. Lots of other stuff we could have talked about on this topic. Would probably be weird to do 2 weeks of this, but I think we could.
Yeah, we got some great comments tonight, and I have a ton of pre-written that we couldn't even get to. So.
Gray Davidson says set it to 50,000. You think it'd be more likely? You think we'd be more likely to hit it if we just shot for the moon, just turn into crazy people? Seems like a bad idea. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for everything. Thanks for super chats. Thanks for your suggestions, and we will certainly take those to heart. A lot of good ideas that we will certainly consider. And we're gonna go ahead and get going now. DJ, any last words? Any famous last words?
I hope not. No, it was a fun show tonight, guys. Thanks for all the good questions. Thanks for the hilarious chat. I was interrupting Cap the whole night because I was laughing at your guys' hilarious comments. So
no, he does it a lot.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, he really does. DJ is a consummate non-professional.
That's me. That's what I get paid for.
That's me. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central for another Captain Logan show. And tune in Friday for what is coming out Friday? Another me and Dan video, another discussion video from me and Dan probably, and then also It Chapter 2 sometime over the weekend. We're going to review that this weekend. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. I was Captain Logan.
And I was DJ.
Later, folks.
See ya.